This 17 News at Noon podcast is brought to you by Clinica Sierra Vista.
Welcome back to 17 News at Noon podcast, where we share your news on your schedule. Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us for 17 News at Noon. I'm Nicole Gitsky. We begin with an update on the Shell fire currently burning near the base of the Grapevine. Kern County Fire, the lead agency, says crews made significant progress yesterday despite those high temperatures. The blaze is nearing 2,000 acres, but the fire is now 65% contained and is no longer impacting traffic. Fire officials say efforts were hampered on Sunday when a private drone interfered with their helicopters. And that's not the first time this has happened. Now, 17's Marco Torres will have an in-depth look at the problem that drones and wildfires pose. That's tonight at 5 p.m. And with wildfire season in full swing and fires burning across the state, the Valley Air District is warning residents of the smoke impacts to our health. The district has issued a health caution to a majority of the San Joaquin Valley as the Shell and Vulcan fire continue to burn. The caution will remain in place until the fires are extinguished. The district encourages residents to stay indoors in a filtered, air-conditioned environment to reduce their exposure. As always, you can check the air quality by heading to myraan.com. Now, in your 17 Crime Watch, an update on a homicide in East Bakersfield. KCSO says they were called to Weed Patch Highway Monday morning near Highway 58 for a shooting. Deputies say they found 28-year-old Jesus Kaku Melgoza with obvious signs of trauma, and he died at the scene. Police have not identified any suspect information at this time. Anyone with information is asked to contact KCSO at 861-3110 or the Secret Witness Hotline at 322-4040. And the man found dead in an orchard has been identified. Law enforcement was called to the orchard in the area of Lerdo Highway and Lost Hills Road for someone who had been shot late Sunday afternoon. 40-year-old Valentin Flores Castaneda was found dead, and homicide detectives are investigating. No other information has been released at this time. Now to the COVID-19 pandemic, and around the world, the new Delta variant is raising new concerns, and several countries are grappling with how to stem the rising tide of cases. In Russia, Moscow authorities implemented a very controversial vaccine passport system. Vaccinated citizens will need QR codes to go into restaurants, cafes, and bars. Everyone else will not be allowed inside. Now, here at home, the new variant is posing some serious concerns.
And we're not just talking about Delta virus, but another variation of the Delta virus, which we're just for now referring to as Delta Plus variant. And the variation is due to a mutation on the spike protein called K417N. This variation appears to, in fact, make it more contagious.
Dr. Goldis says this new strain appears to be resistant to treatment. He says the concern is this strain will affect the communities with low vaccination numbers like Kern County. The strain seems to affect those who are not vaccinated. And due to the rise in Delta cases, the World Health Organization wants people to continue to wear masks, social distance, and practice other COVID-19 pandemic safety measures, even if they are vaccinated. WHO officials say the vaccine alone won't stop community transmission. They are asking fully vaccinated people to play it safe because a large portion of the world remains unvaccinated. And Bakersfield residents have a couple of new opportunities to get vaccinated against COVID-19 this week. Kern Public Health announcing 2 pop-up vaccine clinics. The next is happening tomorrow at Beal Park from 2 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. with another on Friday at City in the Hills Park during the same time period. Walk-ins are welcome with no appointment needed. As always, you can head to myturn.ca.gov for a full list of local vaccination sites.
Clinica Sierra Vista is now offering rapid COVID-19 testing and COVID-19 vaccinations. Call 833-278-4584 to make your appointment. But don't delay. Clinica Sierra Vista, putting patients first.
Now, in education news, today is your last chance to weigh in on a proposed boundary changes in the Kern High School District brought about by the opening of Del Oro High School. The district says a citizens committee has been working since April to revise the attendance boundaries. The new boundaries will go into effect in August of 2022 when Del Oro High School opens its doors at East Panama Lane and Cottonwood Road. The last forum on the changes is happening tonight at 7 p.m. at Golden Valley High School. For more information or to view the boundary maps, visit our website, kget.com. And taking a look around town, the Bakersfield Police Department is welcoming over 24 new police officers. 25 new officers have joined the ranks and will now be policing our local community. The department swore in the new officers during a ceremony last Thursday. This is the 4th Academy class funded by the Public Safety and Vital Services measure, which aims to add 100 new officers to the department. The new class will begin work come July. And exciting news, Concert by the Fountain Summer Series is back. The Marketplace says they're bringing back the series, offering nearly a dozen free concerts. It's happening every Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m. throughout the months of July and August. This week you can catch Lost Vinyl playing R&B and classic rock. For a full concert schedule, head to our website, kget.com. Taking a look around the state, now to drama between Governor Gavin Newsom and his appointed Secretary of State over his party affiliation. Governor Newsom announced he is suing Shirley Weber for refusing to correct his lawyer's filing mistake. The misstep is over a state law Newsom signed in 2019. The suit is asking the court to require Weber to print Newsom's party preference on all the recall ballots. If not, Democratic Party may not appear next to his name on the upcoming ballot. This comes as state Republicans accuse Democrats of acting unfairly, passing a bill aimed at moving up Governor Newsom's recall date. Newsom immediately signed the bill, meaning we could know the election date as early as Friday. And in national news, Bakersfield Congressman and House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy is facing some criticism after reportedly refusing in a face-to-face meeting with a Capitol police officer to publicly denounce 21 House Republicans who recently voted against honoring officers for defunding the Capitol building during last January's assault by Trump's loyalists. Officer Michael Fanon met with McCarthy, who has opposed the formation of a bipartisan commission to investigate the attack. Fanon says McCarthy told him he would, quote, address it on a personal level with some of those members. Fanon says McCarthy's response wasn't satisfactory. The Guardian reporting Fanon told reporters waiting outside McCarthy's office simply, I did need a drink after coming out of that meeting. And we reached out to McCarthy's office for comment, a spokesperson responding in part, quote, he listened earnestly and intently to their concerns and remains committed to steadfastly combating all forms of violence and holding those who break the law fully accountable, end quote. Meantime, a Tehachapi High School graduate convicted of assaulting 2 Russian police officers in 2018 will remain in prison after a Moscow court rejected his appeal yesterday. 29-year-old Trevor Reed, one of 2 former U.S. Marines being held in Russia, was sentenced to 9 years last July following a trial U.S. officials believe was a sham. Reed and Paul Whalen have spent about 2 years in Russian jails on separate charges which U.S. officials say were fabricated so they can be used as bargaining chips. Reed, whose family now lives in Texas, could now be moved to a prison camp outside of Moscow. Reed's lawyers say they will appeal again to a higher court in Russia. Bakersfield Congressman Kevin McCarthy spoke out about the ruling, saying today a Russian court unjustly denied U.S. Marine veteran Trevor Reed's appeal to be released from a Russian prison. This is a travesty. President Biden must put pressure on Putin to immediately release Trevor Reed. It's a good week for foodies in Bakersfield with a slew of new restaurants opening for business. The iconic Randy's Donuts opened their doors this morning. This is considered a soft opening with the grand opening set for July 20th. The new location on California Avenue in Bakersfield will be the first in Central California.
In Bakersfield, it's upcoming. It's very beautiful, beautiful weather, beautiful people, multicultural, and it's the first location out of LA. So I think it's a great stepping stone to get out of LA.
Now, if the name sounds familiar, you've probably seen the 32-foot tall donut atop the original location in Inglewood. The Inglewood location is a Los Angeles landmark seen in various movies and television shows. They're also hiring for multiple positions at this store. For information on how to submit an application, just head to kget.com. Well, Filipino fast food chain Jollibee is set to open its doors to the public this week at its new location in Bakersfield. The restaurant, located at Stockdale Highway near California Avenue and the former Carl's Jr. building, will open at 9 a.m. tomorrow. The popular chain has dozens of locations across California, including one in Delano, which opened in January. In addition to indoor service, the company says it will offer drive-through, to-go, and online ordering options. Well, home prices have surged nearly 15% in April. That's according to Case-Shiller National Home Price Index. It was an extraordinary leap in prices following the 13.3% increase in March. 5 cities, Charlotte, Cleveland, Dallas, Denver, and Seattle, saw their largest annual gains ever. But home sales have been falling for the past few months due to low supply and very high prices. The number of single-family homes being built also slipped as home builders try to keep up with a heavy backlog of demand amid high prices for land, labor, and materials. Now, here at home, new data shows it's getting harder to find a home in Bakersfield as fewer houses hit the market and prices hike every month. Now, 17's Moses Small found out how you can avoid some housing headaches. That's happening tonight at 5 on 17 News. The 17 News at Noon podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.